The Mueller report and its findings make it more meaningful or more possible that the president would get a meaningful trade deal. And I think the answer is potentially, because while the president might be emboldened by the conclusion that his campaign did not collude with Russia, there are still open investigations in other jurisdictions on the inauguration and the president's business dealings, as well as an investigation-friendly House led by Democrats. The timeline for all of these investigations is unclear, but we do know that the timeline for trade talks is a bit more clear. Hope for the U.S. is that a deal will be reached in principle in the next 2 weeks. You have President Trump's two top trade officials flying to Beijing this week for a one-day negotiation overnight on Thursday. Vice Premier Liu He returns to the U.S. on April 3rd, and a senior administration official says the goal is to seal the deal in the days following that Washington visit, with a Mar-a-Lago signing summit still the preference by the White House. One of China's vice premiers was speaking at the opening of a forum for multinational companies like Apple, Qualcomm, and Blackstone in China, and said that China would be willing to relax pre-existing tariffs, but they want all U.S. tariffs gone. That's something the White House has been unwilling to do. The Financial Times reports that the U.S. is underwhelmed by an offer on digital trade. And the question now becomes, is President Trump emboldened to be firmer with China than he would have otherwise? And then how cybersecurity plays into this, because intelligence chiefs have said China could try to interfere in the 2020 election alongside Russia, using lessons that they learned in 2016, Joe.
Yeah, I was actually he has a good relationship with President Xi that he always emphasizes how much, personal sort of camaraderie they have. And I'm to be able to put off, sanctions that your own administration was considering based on a personal relationship. I'm wondering whether it comes into play with the trade relationship when he finally does meet with President Xi. But maybe we don't even, that gets put on the back burner based on what the lower level trade talks come up with, I guess, as well.
Right. And certainly the ministers, as they call them, who are leading the trade talks, have been driving a hard bargain and holding a very firm line, though we have seen President Trump willing to take into account President Xi's personal asks. We saw that last year when he asked him to relax treatment of Chinese telecom company ZTE. The president did that, and that was in advance of cooperation with North Korea before the summit in Singapore last June. So we're seeing some of these similar threads, Joe, play out yet again. And then there's the question of Huawei, too. President Xi is expected to ask for those charges to be dropped or some similar outcome there. And we'll see if President Trump is willing to engage on that as well.